Oh man, look, it's a thing, Justin. Happy hour is a thing. We're doing that thing where we have a happy hour.
Yeah, dude. What's happening, man? What's going on?
I'll tell you what happened is I woke up this morning and did a bunch of research and I'm about to drop $2,000 on some magical hardware that'll give us a two-way interruptible full duplex talking solution.
Yeah, man. We're I think that might be the thing that we've longed for the most, right? Like not even from from our point, once you got into the studio, but from years and years ago, we've kind of longed for it. But I think we finally hit a breaking point, and we're like, fuck it. Someone's got to know how this shit works.
It's like there's a solution out there, and all it costs is money. So if only we can find it. Hey, by the way, joining us, it was so much fun yesterday. Our producer John Rael was like, "What's this happy hour thing?" I'm like, "Oh, we go in. We have no obligation to be funny or interesting. We have one obligation, which is to keep the conversation afloat and just have an interesting discussion and have a good time." And he's like, "I'd like to sit in on that." And so he sat and watched the entire hour yesterday. Which, by the way, every one of these seems to just blow past. They're super, super fast. And then afterwards, John was like, "Hey, could I join you for a happy hour?" So joining us in the hot seat right now, our producer editor John Rael.
Hello.
Who I guess most people have seen his work on The Modern Rogue. Have you guys met in person, you and Justin?
Oh, we've met several times. We've actually never done this, which is weird.
Been on screen. You've never met on screen. Physically, you met.
Several times.
Yeah.
All right, here. Keep chatting at me, Justin. I'm going to goose your audio a bit.
Yeah. No. John and I, we've hung out. We've been out, shared a few beers, right?
Purchased each other beers.
Purchased each other beers. Oh, it's all a lark. And I mean, that was in the before times.
Oh.
When you could just go to bars. Remember bars?
God, that was a long time ago.
I mean, look. The spirit of bars are alive and well right now, right here, live at the happy hour.
All right. So, all right. Question for the plague times, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get an email from a small bar. Doesn't have to be around you, right? Like, let's just say your favorite small bar that you ever went to. You get this email, and let's imagine the transportation is not an issue. And they say, look, here's what we're doing for our favorite patrons. We just send you a code. There's a door, a keypad on the door. You unlock the door. Only you are allowed in there. But just go ahead. All the kegs are full. All the bottles are full. You can just spend, don't go crazy. We don't want anybody to, get too fucked up, but, we'll charge you for what we watch you pour, and we'll just hit you with the bill later. And then there's a price tag on there. Let's imagine, number one, would you go for such an arrangement in this world where now we are unallowed to go to those bars are technically closed? Would you enter into a private agreement to go drink at your favorite bar by yourself?
By myself.
By yourself.
I mean, I have my answer. Do you have a take?
Yeah, no, thank you.
Are you
I can
serious?
drink by myself anywhere. I'm a grown up.
No, this is where Justin and I are just built of different stuff. I could think of nothing more magical. It's like okay, Disney World. All the rides work. There's just nobody there. Do you go? It's like, goddamn right I do.
Happiness is happiness shared.
Yeah. Yes,
no,
and
which is why I would go to one of them, and Brian would go to one of them in Texas, and then we'd Skype each other while sitting at bars by ourselves. And
both of us just like, dude, look at this! Can you believe it?
Well, we'd have to bring our laptops because we'd be playing Hearthstone on our phones. So we would be ignoring each other with our laptops, pointing at each other in an empty bar while we both played Hearthstone. But Brian, let me, number one, correct answer. John, this is why you were not allowed on the happy hour prior to this episode.
Fair.
We're going to get you fixed,
I mean,
though.
I wouldn't go to a movie by myself. Like, if I was offered to go to a huge theatrical movie, it's My 4K
no.
television is fine.
That's a different story. We'll get back to you and
Okay.
your broken brain. Brian, what is the price tag that you don't blink at? I'm going to start it at $1,000.
Wait.
$1,000
Per time or a flat fee to go whenever I want? And it's
time. One opportunity. Look, this is a high cost market. No?
no.
right.
$1,000
All right.
I could buy a new what's the new Vive? The new better one with the wide field of
I
view.
think it's called the new better Vive.
Yes.
All right. How about this? 500.
No. That's crazy talk.
250.
No, because a big part of it is going to be the novelty of like, look at all these seats and everyone's supposed to be here and I have it all to myself. I might go as high as like $79.
If you would go to 79, you'd go to 100, and I bet you that in a pinch for the novelty, you'd go to 150.
Yeah, but it's like I'm gonna have what, maybe 3-4 beers. That's $25 a beer, which we've definitely paid for. We've paid convention rates for drinks before, so that makes me think that I probably would go for 100. But I wouldn't go very often. I would go once for the novelty. But it like
I agree. I think that I desperately want to do it now, so much so that I probably would overpay for it. But I think I would quickly realize.
Oh, wait a minute. So you're talking about not even in an abstract theoretical introvert versus extrovert reality. You're saying, oh man, what I would give to not be trapped in my house right now. And I don't care if it's another room where I'm by myself. If it felt like I'm at a bar, I would pay money for it. Yeah, okay. If I were in your position, I mean, 100 would be the starting bid, opening bid.
Yes. Oh no, that's. I mean, because if I were in a bar, if I were one of my, and I'm even picturing the bar. In fact, the bar I'm thinking of was in a Scam School episode, so I don't even know.
Wow, which bar are you thinking of? Is it the redheaded stepchild?
Bar 355, which is in Oakland, California. I didn't even realize that it was this bar, but we shot a Scam School episode back before I even lived in California. And we shot it there. And then one day I was just randomly walking into a bar and I'm like, oh shit, I shot a Scam School here. And this
I
is
know
where
exactly. This is the one where Andrew Main made me stuff all those napkins in my mouth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I would go there and I'll tell you what, yes, it would be creepy.
Oh, we got a little bit of a Skype lag. Yes, it would be creepy and
yes, it would basically be The Shining, but man, would if I blinked, boy, would it look like the old times.
Well, especially if you were contacting somebody and just because you're right, that's the weird part is you would be in there. First thing you would want to do is FaceTime somebody. So, okay, how does that affect things? If you were able to go to a bar and then open up a FaceTime window, let's say with your paramour, with your girl or whatever,
okay,
and you're hanging out with somebody, but it's not just in a closed space. I mean, it is a closed space, but it's supposed to be an open space.
Yeah,
Does that make it any better?
No, I mean, here's the thing about this whole situation is I'm definitely suffering from the survival guilt #privilege of this was kind of my life always. Like nothing was preventing me from going to bars before. I just didn't because I'm an adult. I can drink on my own,
Yeah.
So
I'm not. This one is not for me.
No, it's not. It's not. I don't know what does that make us, Brian? if we are both the people that like, because I think we're similar in that it's not that we like to go to bars with people even all that much. Like we similarly don't necessarily like. I mean, we like meeting people. We like talking to people. That often happens at a bar, but I would say the 90% of the instinct of me saying, I'm just gonna go to a bar. That is almost universally so I can be there by myself and not know anybody.
Or at least, like, I like some number of people being around, but I don't want lots of people asking me if they can help me or anything like that. I just like... I like the periphery of being in an electric space. I like knowing for a fact that at my gut level, I'm not missing out on anything. If anything interesting was happening, I almost certainly would hear about it. But I also don't want to be on and invest in performance mode or whatever.
Oh, I have something parallel to this.
Okay.
The whole Starbucks writing thing, the whole like being in a coffee shop and writing where there's people around, they're living and breathing and doing their thing, but I'm able to stay focused and get a lot of writing done in that space. But if I'm alone, it doesn't happen.
Yeah. So number one, you totally nailed it. The only reason why I don't like Starbucks is because I've met so many more annoying people at Starbucks than I have at bars. Like bars, there is a quiet, especially dead end, like just the sadder, the better kind of bars. There's one thing that they all have in common. They know when to shut the fuck up. Or going right for them. Like they don't want to talk about it, and you don't want to talk to them about it neither.
To be honest, though, I don't even mind the annoying people who are having a conversation way too loud. As long as I can hear both sides of the conversation, I could sit there and quietly judge who's right and who's wrong and how annoying both of them are for being loud. But then also I could plug in my podcast earbuds and lose myself in it.
Well, that and also, so Mez 714 here in the chat room says, I worked at Starbucks. Customers are annoying. And I agree with that. The difference is that a barista can't lean over the table and say, hey, shut the fuck up. Like a bartender very much can. It is almost incumbent upon a bartender to take action before things get out of control. Whereas at a Starbucks, God, it can be a 3-ring circus before some barista steps out.
For the record, I lived that transition. I worked at Starbucks for 3 years, and then I became a bartender at the Dolby Theater, where I could just look at somebody and be like, no, that's a stupid order. Get to the back of the line.
What?
Yeah.
So was that sort of like a Dick's Last Resort where you had permission to be sassy to everybody?
Yeah, I mean, and they like it. Like the meaner I got, the higher my tips would get as a bartender. But as a barista, you got to grovel at every
Oh my
single
God!
demand.
Can you imagine bartender attitude at a barista place where everybody is just like everybody's very particular about how they want their coffee,
and if somebody's just like. Little old Jewish guys in Beverly Hills that I served, they would come back fully loaded.
That's amazing.
Oh my God.
Hey,
dude, I can't. So you went directly to do that transition. You went right from barista to bartender.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. Straight up, being a bartender is 20 times easier. Like the actual work is just way easier. Like making foam, that perfect like half shot of this, one pump of this, and make sure you just add a little bit of Splenda on top. Like compared to you open a beer, it's like, oh, thanks, bro. Here's a couple extra bucks. Like, yeah, no comparison.
Here's $4 for your troubles. Thanks for opening that fucking can.
Yeah. Well, but really, like that tip is really a statement of thank you for not making me wait here very long, and stop. Thank you for not making a thing about just give me the thing, and it's like the faster you get it, the bigger the tip. Whereas,
well, also you're always happy to see alcohol, but caffeine, you need it.
Oh, that's interesting. Now. So I wonder if that's probably why doctors get terrible tips. If somebody comes in wanting their Xanax, and then they're scratching and mad, and like, give me that Valium or whatever.
Imagine if pharmacies were more like bars.
Go on.
And it wasn't so like a doctor's office where it's like number four, please come to aisle one, right? But instead, it's like laid back, and they're playing LMFAO, and there's like, a halter top, and she's like, hey, can I see your?
See your script?
No, slides down a bottle.
Dude, that would be amazing. Hey, Rando changed the topic since we had a Skype pickup just then. Justin, have you played with that new ladder on the Hearthstone?
I haven't. No, I did a little spin on Battlegrounds with the new character today, but other than that, no. Send me that dick. Send me your dick.
Whip out my dick so you can get on that lad and start grinding. Wow, I just realized that none of that means anything to John, probably.
No. Also, I think we did the same thing yesterday.
Yeah, I bet it didn't make any sense yesterday either. But it's wild. No, it's standard. They've got 6 different ladders of 10 ranks each, and it's funny because like you start at Angry Chicken in like wooden tier, and then you make it to silver, and then gold, and then platinum, and then diamond, and then legend. I made it in one day from this morning to midway through platinum. And
Damn, bitch.
yeah, starting to level off now. But like when you first start, it's like you get 9 bonus stars for every victory, and then when you win 3 in a row, you get like double 9 bonus stars. It's like you get 18 stars,
like ludicrous speed. You are just like ripping through shit.
It is pretty tasty. You find yourself like oh man, no, I can get that back. I can get that back. Let me just get 3 in a row and again. But then I ran out of steam. But it's fun, man. Feels like new life breathed into it.
I think it's a cool idea, and it'll definitely get me back on ladder. I just got to figure out what my dick is. I got to pick my dick out of a lineup on HS replay.
So we were talking last night on the main show. One of the would you rather bots was, and maybe I'm going to ask John to chime in on this. Would you rather A, be the fastest person on the planet, but you can't bench press more than 15 pounds, or a competent gymnast, but you can bench 65 pounds?
Interesting. Fastest as in like the Flash, like super fast?
As in you're a little bit faster than Usain Bolt.
Oh, okay.
But you cannot bench press more than 15.
God, I might go for the gymnast thing. I like the idea of being able to, climb around on things and do a little breakdancing.
Justin and I ended up on team fastest because EST at the end of anything equals you could get paid for it. Whereas competent gymnasts, there's a lot of competent gymnasts at still tending bar.
My default thing is that, like, if you're the fastest, it's like, if you're important, people will wait.
No, yeah. I mean, I guess there is that. I framed it as it's the difference between being famous and not being famous. And there are some people who were like, oh, cool, yeah. Like, because Brian and I are like, all right, yeah, we'll be the fastest person on the planet. And that means we'll probably be an Olympian, and we'll probably, be on a Wheaties box, and that will be the money that sustains us. Whereas if you're a competent gymnast who can lift a lot more, then you're going to live a good life, but you probably won't be famous. You're probably just going to be your average neighborhood ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus also like, man, that's one to keep in your pocket. If you know for a fact that per your agreement with the genie, you're the fastest, you just wait. You keep doing your silly podcast. You start making a game on Twitter, calling out literally anyone for being slow as crap. And it's like, who are you? A magician turned comedian on the internet? And then you get that moment where you challenge them to a race. Then you get to ballyhoo that up. And it's like, you already got the fix, man. Your family's made all the money in the world. Like, think about that alone. If the genie promises you that you're the fastest, all of your family has it made. You just tell all of them to bet their retirements on this race. And then, unless you break an ankle.
Yeah, or you're playing real mind games. You lose the first race, and that way the second race, your odds are even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw a dive right there. Up the hype. Hey, guys, do you want a little entertainment news here for the
hit us
for
up.
All right. We have official comment from some of the principal characters of Tiger King.
Ooh, that bitch. What do we got?
The Bhagavan, Doc Antle, has the following to say. This is not a documentary. This is a salacious, outrageous ride through a television show produced to create drama. Can't you just hear this coming out of his mouth with his wide eyes, like his never blinking, gigantic eyes?
What's funny is I'm not hearing it. I'm seeing it on the back of the boxed set for Tiger King. Like it might as well be a
sounds
pull
like a
quote.
press release.
Yeah, it sounds like what you put on the poster.
It's just to tie you into some crazy train wreck of a story between the feud of Carol Baskin and Joe Exotic and the meltdown that ensued between two people who both are far too close to murder themselves, and I think a little bit of madness thrown in on their parts, Antle said in an interview.
So about
Meanwhile,
these two people, not me. It's about this
Not
feud,
me.
not my sex cult. It's about these guys doing crazy things, not me grooming underage women.
I mean,
yeah.
Doc Antle, to his credit, man, that dude knows how to redirect an interview when confronted on that stuff.
You notice that any asshole who has a little bit of time with film has everything to say. But like an old school who's done and doing it their whole lives, they don't say shit when they're in an interview. You know, like I interviewed Paul Provenza. He didn't say a word about anything. But you get Bill Nye, and he's telling us how to adjust our mics.
Oh, really?
Well, we're going to leave that little nugget there. Antle goes on to say, I never thought I could get to this level. I guess in some ways because so many people are trapped on their couch because of the pandemic. And this train wreck of an...
Oh, no.
Somehow caught everyone's attention.
Train wreck.
Train wreck of a what?
A train wreck of an adventure into a magical wildlife land has somehow caught everyone's attention. You're right. That should be on the back of the goddamn box.
Yeah.
I also had that exact thought. Like in an alternate universe where COVID doesn't take over, do you think this show becomes the #1 television show in the country or no?
Yeah. It's a great docuseries, right? And it is unique in that all the most salacious stuff is fairly undeniable. Either somebody is saying it out of their own mouth or you can prove it, right? So I think it would have been big. I don't know if anything is this big in a world where everybody's by themselves.
Because that was part of the magic of it is, I think many people have described to me that they lost themselves in it. Like they were no longer here. You were transported, and for 7 glorious hours, none of this situation existed.
Yeah, it lasted so much longer than we deserved.
Yeah.
It was very entertaining. Like I heard all the hype. I heard the overhype where Brian's like, no, dude, watch it. I'm like, whatever. I put it on. I was hooked.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Carol Baskin, or as I like to refer to her as her full name in Game of Thrones lineage, that bitch Carol Baskin down there in Florida. She wrote the following as part of a 3,000-word blog titled "Refuting Netflix Tiger King." Quote, "There are no words for how disappointing it is to see that the series not only is not," because she previously had said that the producers came and told her that they wanted to do the tiger version of Blackfish. That's what she believes she was.
Oh, really? The idea that they were going to pull back the wool from the tiger's eyes and reveal that all tigers deserve to be free.
Basically, unless they want to live in a smaller.
Oh man,
sensational possible.
Sorry, we got another Sky pickup in there, but unless they want to live in a smaller what? Oh, I think there we go. Justin's back. Oh, beep boo, beep bah. Let's see if the refresh happened. This is like the Skype equivalent of clearing your throat. It's like it's better after, but then the whole world has to listen to you do it. Uh-oh. And then we lost him again.
Are we going to Zoom soon?
Oh, there we go. Oh, I thought I answered. You there, buddy?
Hey,
there he is.
All right.
Hey, there we go. Yeah, you were saying live in a smaller cage, I assume?
Oh, yeah. No, I think I was just trying to follow up on your joke of that, Carol Baskin's a hypocrite. But the producers shot.
Oh, no.
We followed it as any good storyteller does. We would have never known when we started this project that it was going to be what it was. That the only reason why they focused on everything was because Baskin talked about her personal life, her childhood, her abuse from her first and second husband, and the
Oh, we lost. We heard everything up till abuse from the first and second husband, and what?
Oh no.
Oh man, no, we're getting crazy Skype pickups right now. You want to try audio only?
Yeah, might as well.
All right, here we go. We're good.
But yeah, no. So they just say that she wasn't coerced.
Well, yeah, she wasn't coerced. She seemed very eager to share, and they seemed eager to couch everything through a certain lens.
Yep.
Yep. And then, of course, there's Jeff and Lauren Lowe, who are currently running the zoo that Joe Exotic ran. And, of course, this new zoo in which they say they touched on about 10% of the story. And, the portrayal of us stealing the zoo from Joe was very unfair because we came here to help him. When we got him back on his feet, we left to move away because we didn't want to be in a zoo in Oklahoma. So the notion that we tried to steal the zoo was just ridiculous.
I mean, yeah. You see, they didn't steal the zoo because they don't live there. And if you don't live in a zoo, then it's pretty clear that you didn't steal it, right?
I mean, it's really funny that even in these stories, which are there just so these characters can kind of have their day in court after the documentary has come out, they still haven't really pushed back on any of the things that people care about, right? Like, they've not said anything is untrue. They've just complained about where the documentary focused on.
Well, and also, like, their version of complaining boils down to an accurate assessment of why it's the most popular show on television.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just upset about the perceptions, which is odd.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of shocked that he is kind of like low-key building it up.
Oh, like each of those people responding.
Yeah, I mean, because he's like saying it's the most madcap, crazy thing you'll ever see. Like 10 out of 10 stars. Because like no matter what. Yeah, because no matter what, everybody who is watching that, who cares about having that experience, they're gonna know there's one place I could go to hold a baby tiger, and that's that dude's business.
So what do we think happens with the actual conviction and trial and appeal and release of Joe Exotic? Do you think that he is overall helped by this series, full stop?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he loves it one way or the other because, he just wants to be famous and all of a sudden look, how can I put this? If a podcast can get Adnan a retrial, then Joe Exotic seems to have a much softer case against him than Adnan did. So I'm gonna guess that a even more popular television show is gonna have an outsized benefit to Joe Exotic.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, if you can't win a court case, muddy all the water.
Yeah, no, that water is as muddy as the pond in the tiny cage at Carol Baskin's shelter.
That bitch Carol Baskin down there in Florida. Yeah, I think that there is apparently Joe Exotic has indeed called out for Donald Trump to pardon him. I don't know if that's going to be there, for the 2020 reelection campaign, but. Cardi B also came out in support of Joe Exotic, said that she was going to start a fund to get him released, and also that Carol Baskin's a bitch.
This is one of those rare moments where even Donald Trump will find it appealing to take the high road and say, "I'm sorry, Joe Exotic. I believe I'm dealing with a global pandemic at the moment and will not be considering pardoning you."
There is zero chance, though, that if we weren't going through a plague, there's a part chance now, but there's zero chance that if we were not going through a plague, that Donald Trump would have tweeted at this point that he's reopening the Carol Baskin investigation and he is looking to pardon Joe Exotic, right? Like that's a slam dunk.
I definitely agree with that.
Like it's too right up his alley, and
it's the exact thing that would make everybody crazy, and that's his favorite distraction tactic. Yeah.
Although he would do something totally irresponsible and just be like, should I reopen the Carol Baskin investigation? Like, yes or no? Like, just like run a Twitter poll that takes like executive privilege into account.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of the reality, like, I just can't. I think Joe Exotic should be locked up for whatever reasons.
I mean, okay,
Find an excuse.
What if it wasn't in jail? What if it was in just one of the paddocks next to the rest of his animals? And so he was able to play with the tigers. Like, he just had to be an exhibit from now on. He was fed, he was watered, he had all of his amenities taken care of. Everybody could talk to him. You could pay to go to the zoo and visit Joe Exotic. I would like to see him become one of the exhibits.
I think I and he would be totally fine with that.
Yes, yeah. That's where I'm at. Can we start a petition for that, Justin?
Yeah. Oh no, I think that's fully on the table here for us with Joe Exotic. I mean, do you think this is just one of those? This is like the puka shell necklace of our time, right? This Tiger King thing, like the puka shell necklace of our time, something that is like always going to be evocative of some moment of time, and it will fade as quickly as it seemingly came. Like nobody will. Tiger King.
What's a puka shell necklace?
Before we get to that, I agree 100% with the sentiment. To be honest, it reminds me of like The Apprentice, when The Apprentice was a popular show, and then its star totally faded until it came back like Pogs. Also, what is a puka shell necklace?
Google that shit. You don't know what a fucking puka shell necklace is?
No,
you have definitely seen one. If you watched music videos in the 90s, you know what the hot hell a puka shell necklace is.
Puka, puka shell necklace? Oh, I'm seeing a few different versions of it. They all look like they belong on Fraternity Bros on spring break. I don't know if I lost you.
Yeah, here we go.
Like Hawaiian shells on a necklace here.
Yeah, but this was very popular in the 90s, and it was definitely unisex as well. This was it was like kind of beachy, islandy, but think of like LFO summer girl. That is the genre for which demanded a puka shell necklace.
Maybe we weren't on the right coast at that point.
Or maybe I was too old. I was probably making babies around that time. What year would this have been at its peak? Oh man, I wonder if the internet hiccups are on our end because I'm having trouble with
I gotta say, up speeds are down.
Up speeds are down?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess everybody's at home. It's a bummer. I don't know if we lost Justin just again.
Our download
No,
speeds
no.
are great.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm hearing most of those words.
Yeah, 90s, early 2000s is when these puka shells were at their height. Man, I can't believe I struck out with both of you. You guys have never heard the term. I was just listening to a national podcast that was talking about them like they were nothing, and I thought that maybe that would be a universal thing. Who else knows about puka shell necklaces in the chat?
This is always the flex that makes sense, and you're right to do it because this is where everybody chimes in and says they know it. But oh wait, no, I'm seeing a few of them. Bobcat says not me. A bunch of people say they still like them. Everyone agrees except for 3 or 4 people.
I used to have a shark tooth necklace. Is that similar?
Yeah.
I mean, we're in the same region, right? But a shark tooth, I don't know. What would you say the most fashionable person to rock a shark tooth necklace would be?
Joe Exotic. Do you think he rocked a tiger tooth? Hey, where are we at on the idea of putting a bullet in a tiger's head? Like
I don't even want to think about that.
What the fuck? What kind of transition is that?
Well, we're still talking about Joe Exotic, and that's
I thought we
literally
were
the crime.
talking about puka shells. Jesus, we were talking about LFO and
well, once we got to
bullet in a tiger's head.
Once we got to shark teeth. I made a joke about Joe Exotic wearing one, but then I realized, no, he would wear a tiger's tooth. But I'm like, would he? Because that would imply that he had killed a tiger. And then I thought, oh wait, he definitely did kill tigers,
Several.
and that's what he's in jail for, among other things.
Yeah. Also, do you understand now that that entire transition setup period happened in your head? That
Yes.
was
Yes.
good path from A to B to C to D, but we just got to E from A.
Yes. Correct. Hey, so I bought my kid Animal Crossing today. Should I expect to ever see her again?
Which one?
The newest one, the one that just came
which
out.
kid?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Josie. Like,
Which
why would
Animal
I buy
Crossing
an old?
version, bro?
I'm like the world's worst dad. Like, oh, you want the Animal Crossing? Here, I got it for this
Did you
DS.
get Animal Crossing Turbo?
No, Josie's playing it.
Yeah, I think the well, I don't know. How old is she now?
12.
12. Yeah. She might be at the point where she just pours 7 hours a day into it. Like, because it is there for you to pour 7 hours a day into. And at this point, there is enough online resources to kind of tell you what you should be doing if you want to grind out the game. There's a lot of grinding that can be done. But in general, you don't need to. Like you can screw around for a half hour and then screw around for another half hour and then screw around for another half hour.
Oh, hey, today is April Fool's Day. Did you see anything? Like, there was a time that April Fool's, it was a bit polarizing where some people were annoyed with all the fake news articles. In general, I loved seeing all of my favorite internet brands put effort into telling a joke, even if that wasn't their forte. This year, a bit distracted, didn't even really think about it. But have you guys seen any internet gold?
I saw one that reminded me of a good one, but this year they kind of sucked. You know the keyboard company? It's a company, they make the free write.
Oh, yeah. Bonnie has one of those, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No, she loves it.
It's $600 for a
yeah. She informed me
processor.
after she bought it.
A $40 word processor.
She informed me of all of this after it was done. But
Anyway,
she loves it.
They did a very clever joke last year where they sold a USB Morse code thing, like a free Morse code. You could Morse code.
You just plug it in, and
yeah.
you're just like dee 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 dee. Yeah.
This year they made a joke about refilling your ink by putting a USB cord into ink. I don't know. It was just like, eh.
There is one that I saw that I think really did quite well. Justin, have you seen any?
No, not really. I've seen a few people on Twitter just try to make their own little jokes. Like I saw our boy Maniello, who did the Billy Joel bracket. He was like today is April
1st.
4/1. Don't think that we should be making jokes or something like that. So it was like a little pun on 4/1. But other than that, there's been no big into the Rickroll.
There is one that I thought was quite good. Friend of the show that appeared on the Mono Rogue, the lockpicking lawyer, released a video. Every single episode, he's done 1,000+ episodes. Every episode's the same. It's, unlocking this, unlocking that. This one was titled Getting in My Ex-Girlfriend's Back Door. Here, I'll play a little bit of, let's see if we can get the audio on there.
Some very simple tools, but it's almost always done right here on my desk. It's a controlled environment that might not be equivalent to field conditions. So today, I'm taking you on the road with me. You see, I just got a call from my ex-girlfriend who's having a problem. Her new boyfriend is apparently having trouble getting in her back door. It's really tight, and she told him to stop trying because all he was doing was pushing really hard, and she was afraid something would break. But she remembered that when we were dating, I used to go in through her back door all the time. This is a picture of her back door. She just sent it to me, and I don't see any reason why this should be a problem. Frankly, it looks looser than it was back when we were dating. So, while her boyfriend's at work, she asked me to come over and see if I could help loosen things up. I, of course, agreed, so long as I could get it on video and share it on this channel. So, let's drive over and see if we can get in her back door without breaking anything. Okay, folks, here we are, and I have to say that my ex-girlfriend's back door is far dirtier than it ever used to be back when we were dating.
Visuals match the description
pretty badly, but I'm actually glad to find it this way. So you can see why I always keep baby wipes handy whenever I do anything like this. So let's get one out and wipe all of this brown residue away.
What is this again?
This lock-picking lawyer does nothing but pick locks on his channel, and every episode's the same. Here's a lock. Here's how I picked it using this lock.
It might be a 2-wipe job.
So much more tawdry than I ever expected from him.
I know, right? It's a fairly wholesome channel.
Okay, now that we have the outside just a little bit cleaner, it's time to flush out the inside as well. And because we need to lubricate this anyway, I'm going to flush out the main opening with a good bit of lube. We just need to be sure to keep a towel underneath that opening so we don't make a mess. Here it makes a lot of sense to be generous with that lubricant. Back doors tend to be neglected, so you can't have too much. Okay, we are almost ready, but before I go any further, I need to put on some rubber for my own protection.
He puts on rubber cleaning gloves.
And he's a literal lawyer, so he's so careful with language all the time.
Now, depending on various factors, I should note that the opening could be in an awkward position. And all I have to say about that is deal with it. It's not uncommon, especially when you're going in through the back door.
Hey,
now,
one too many times, leaning a bit heavy on that bit.
I need to be very gentle and wiggle things into position if I'm going to stand any chance of getting in.
I remember so many times where he's like, no, cut, guys. Let's not phrase it exactly that way. You know, like, I don't know who he's saying cut to.
I
but
think we're there. All it needs now is a firm shove, and we are in. Now you need to understand that just because I got in her back door doesn't mean that her boyfriend will be able to as well. So I need to spend some time working it in and loosening it up. But I'm going to do that off camera. So that's all I have for you today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe.
Man, how tame was our? We did a modern rogue thing that just like I feel like they showed up in full force and we just did a mild chuckle.
we didn't even know we were doing an April Fool's joke.
That's right. It wasn't originally intended to be that. What
did you guys do?
Well, when we did the shaving with the straight razor, all of the comments were about how Earl's voice is smooth as butter, and people just wanted to have him to have like an ASMR channel, and they could go to sleep to it, and it was super great. So we just had him come in and read literally anything, and so we put together a sleepcast video. And it came out great, but it happened to be released today on April Fool's, and I'm afraid it looked like us actually trying to swing for the fences on an April Fool's joke when we really, like, that's just the day that it happened to come out. But listen to this dude's voice.
Hello, this is Earl, and all is well at Modern Rogue headquarters. There's a warm fire nearby, and fireflies are beginning to shine.
Yeah,
Brian
goddamn.
and Jason are already off to bed. Today was a good shoot. We had no injuries. There's not a care in the world, and here we are, as safe as can be. In moments like these, when I like to relax, I like to remember proper safety protocols from the Centers for Disease Control. Let's take hand washing, for instance. Keeping your hands clean is one of the most important steps we can take to avoid getting sick and spreading germs to others. Many diseases and conditions are spread by not washing hands with soap and clean running water. The CDC recommends cleaning hands in a specific way to avoid getting sick and spreading germs to others. The guidance for effective hand washing and use of hand sanitizer was developed based on data from a number of studies. Wet your hands with clean, running water, warm or cold, turn off the tap, and apply soap. Why? Because hands could become recontaminated if placed in a basin of standing water that has been contaminated through previous use.
So he goes on to read like just straight up the next full several paragraphs of the CDC manual on washing your hands. And it's this perfect fusion because the visuals is all disastrous monologue stuff like Jason whipping himself in the head.
Because the surfactants in soap lift soil and microbes from skin.
But he's reading everything totally straight, and then meanwhile mixed in is all of this beautiful, like literal Pond 5 worthy B-roll that we shot on the property.
Why? Determining the optimum length of time for hand washing is difficult because few studies about the health impacts of altering hand washing times have been done. Of those that exist, nearly all have measured reductions in overall numbers of microbes. Only a small proportion of...
Anyway, that's on the Scam Stuff channel if anybody wants to see that.
That is hilarious. I'll tell you what, as we start to round the corner here, can we give a big shout out? Not an April Fool's joke. Brian, are you aware about the top Kindle book in Amazon right now?
No, I don't know anything about this.
Go ahead on over to top paid Kindle books.
Okay, so here I'm going to go to Amazon.com and I'll do top paid Kindle.
Yep.
Top 100. Dave Ramsey, Total Money Makeover.
No, you got to go to the actual list.
The list. Where is that list?
I'll bet you if you click on that Dave Ramsey thing that there'll be a list there.
Oh, that he's on. Okay, so
scrolling down.
Number one.
C100 top paid in Kindle store. Right next to his rank.
100 top paid in Kindle store. Holy shit! Number one top paid book on the Kindle store. Are you fucking kidding me? Congratulations, Andrew Main. That's amazing.
That is The Girl Beneath the Sea by Andrew Main. And by the way, this ain't exactly an easy.
Not exactly an easy what?
Reading Kindle books, but there's the boy, Andrew Main, The Girl Beneath the Sea, the number one in books.
Books, full stop. We talked about that. Andrew was saying he was at the Magic Castle once, and he was saying, I happen to have a Kindle, or an Amazon bestseller. Like, in what category? And he just says, in books, which later Justin and I got to enjoy when we were like, we have the we have a top number one selling album on the Amazon store. They're like, in what category? You're like, albums. The category is albums. That's amazing.
Yeah, and also I believe this is in the Kindle.
It's only got 5 reviews.
Well, it only came out today, or I guess
came out today.
Yeah. So it just now launched, and so I'm assuming these reviews are fans of his previous work.
Yeah, or people who have gotten pre-releases and stuff like that. But yeah, man, just insane. This is, I believe it's in the Kindle Unlimited program right now. It is one of those that they select for it, so you can get it now on Kindle for free and read it. But and that obviously helps to kind of get them up the charts. But yeah, right now, your boy, number one, top of the platform.
That's so great.
Dick.
So what can everybody do if they want to take action? I mean, I guess I'll go ahead and buy it with a one click, but I think, oops, I'm logged in as Bryce. I think Bryce is going to buy it.
Yeah, no, just go ahead and pick it up. Girl Beneath the Sea, if you are unfamiliar with it, it's a brand new series from Andrew. This is a new character, but it's about a family who is down there in Florida, and unlike that bitch Carol Baskin, who they get involved in all sorts of wacky stuff. But Girl Beneath the Sea, she's a police diving person who is investigating stuff.
Yeah, I remember he sent like the first couple of chapters over, and it was a case where somebody challenged him to come up with a new angle. Like, look, I don't think I'm talking out of school when I say that Andrew Main is doing very, very well, and a lot of people want to option various things. And Andrew is the type of person where just new ideas are constantly coming to him. So when all of your stuff is currently optioned and somebody says, what else you got? Andrew is the kind of person that says, give me a day. You're like, oh, I got this other thing. Let me get it to you. And then overnight, just busts out the first few chapters and send it to me and Justin. And I'm just like, damn, this is great. And then, so it doesn't surprise me at all that just from the unending font of awesome that is Andrew Mayne would come another #1 best-selling franchise.
This is, I mean, I'll tell you what, anybody who really liked the Jessica Blackwood books, this again is another female protagonist that is different, but certainly if you enjoyed those books, you're going to enjoy these. I couldn't be prouder. I honestly couldn't.
Not his first rodeo, because he his stuff performs so well. Oh, speaking of talented friends, did you notice that at this point, Tom Merritt has a new book as well, right?
Trigger, yeah.
So Pilot X, I noticed live on the air. Let's see. It looks like the Kindle edition has 194 reviews at 4.5 stars. But when I go to Audible, let's do audible.com. The Pilot X, here, let me swap this over. Browse, audiobooks, discover. How do I search? Computer, bring me Tom Merritt. Oh man, this is not good. This is there we go. Search Tom Merritt. Look at this. Pilot X has 1,573 ratings, and it's at like 4.2. No. Or I guess, is it down to 3.9? But I know his new one's at like 4.3. But it's like for Tom Merritt, who is I don't want to call him a dabbler. I mean, obviously he wrote a fucking 4-star science fiction novel. Like, I was really struck by 1,500 ratings is statistically significant. Like, you are approaching the actual numerical artistic value of your work, and it's so remarkable to me that to watch Tom go from NaNoWriMo to having a franchise that he's doing. I'm so stoked.
Oh yeah. No, Tom is so talented. He is, and those books are great. The audio books are fantastic, obviously, because he is an audio professional and can put that type of love and care into it. So Trigger is the new one, Pilot X, and then Trigger, and you can pretty much, from what I remember, you can read them in any order because they are kind of tales told at a time.
Well, and it's smart because the first chapter of Pilot X says, the universe ended, and though he saved it, it ended, and Pilot X is really sad about that. He's a time traveler. And then the story goes, right? And then so you already know that the universe ended at the very beginning of Pilot X, and so probably not a surprise that if he's there to report on it, there's some kind of narrative. But then Trigger is the story of the universe that happens after the universe ended, and it's his story. So you really you could go either way. It's remarkable. 4.5. 4.5 out of 5. Dude, that's great. Why do we have? Hey, we should write an erotic fiction novel.
We should write a novel about screwing.
Is there any? There's no way to get your hands on the Diamond Club anymore, huh? Because the company that published it went out of business.
I don't know.
Well, we could republish it.
Yeah,
because we published it under Vook, and then they changed names and all that stuff. You got the physical copy. Oh, there it is. There it is.
There, yeah.
Boom.
That old Patricia Harkins Bradley getting all up into her business.
Mm-hmm. Also, there is the fact. How do you feel about the fact that somebody just totally, I don't know, I don't want to say stole our idea, but somebody realized that Diamond Club was a good name that we weren't going to fight back on and just straight up sold it.
I mean, I kind of appreciate it, right?
Right? I mean, it's like of all the people that we don't get to complain.
Yeah.
Game recognized game. All right, so I'll send you my dick, and you can grab that lad and start grinding. John, you got anything to promote?
Nah, not yet.
All right.
Not today.
Today I am gonna forward over all of these happy hours. So, Justin, do you want? I to be honest, I don't want to start like in the middle. Part of me just wants to have a mass drop, and then suddenly a bunch of happy hour episodes show up, because I feel like from the very beginning these have been pretty fun.
Yeah. I mean, I'm cool either way, but I would just like for people to be able to get a little bit more Brian and Jerp's content in their lives.
Yeah. So anyway, to anybody who's confused and listening to them out of order, we're doing happy hours every day as long as we're all trapped in the same cave, because damned if we shouldn't be happy.
Yeah, we're doing our best, folks. Come on and join us. Twitch.tv/Night Attack. That is 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern. So if you're on the East Coast, like I know a lot of you are, this is the time where you knock it off. Don't work for the man past 5. Even when you're out here working from home, it's time to.
That's Justin's take. My take is pretend to work, but also definitely watch us. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Come on, man. The world ain't ending. I mean,
Thanks
except
for
for all
having
those
me,
people
guys.
who are dying. Yeah, no, thank you for joining us, John. Come back anytime. Yeah, that's the nice thing about happy hour. We're just hanging out. Love you guys.